So hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. On today's video we're on the Royal Enfield 650 Interceptor. This has kindly been lent to me for 3 weeks by Royal Enfield, so thank you very much. Now I have ridden this bike before about 2 years ago, and that was just literally for a test ride from a dealership for 1 hour. But we've got this, like I say, for 3 weeks, and we're going to see how this stacks up as being one of the most popular modern day classics that's selling today. Now this bike is on a 71 plate, so potentially it could be anything up to 2 years old. It's done about 2,800 miles, so it's been well run in, and it's our first ride out on this bike today. So I wanted to just run through a few of the specs, not all of them, just tell you a little bit about the bike before we head off on a ride to give you our first initial thoughts. And then we're going to be riding this over the next 3 weeks, getting used to it, getting a feel for it, and then I'm going to come back and give you a last ride and final report on the Interceptor 650. Now, new for this year, Royal Enfield introduced 2 new colours, and those are Black Grey and Barcelona Blue. I'll put those on screen just now. Now these colours are on their website just under the Interceptor 650. And if you want this bike or all of the other colours, they do a wide range of tanks as well, and I'll also put those on the screen. The colour of this bike today is called Downtown Drag, and this is classed as now as the Interceptor 650 Lightning Edition. So if you want all the different coloured tanks and things, you need to buy the Lightning Edition. The standard 650 comes now all in a blacked out version, like I say, with that black grey and also Barcelona blue tank. Now the pricing starts at £6,459, which is really good value for a 650 modern day classic. The engine in this bike is a parallel twin. It's a 648cc, and it produces 47 brake horsepower, and that comes in at 7,250. The torque on this bike is 52.3 newton meters. That comes in at 5150 RPM. Now the curb weight of this bike is 217 kilos. The bike itself doesn't feel too heavy even when pushing it around the driveway. The suspension on the front, you've got telescopic forks with the gaiters, and then you've got a twin shock on the back with the gas canister. Suspension feels quite firm on the road, doesn't feel wallowy or anything like that, which is a good thing. The engine itself has the nice polished alloy side casings just there, keep you busy polishing the bike, and also it has a double skinned exhaust, chrome exhaust pipe, which is really nice touch so they don't go a different colour. On the front you've got a 320mm disc with twin pot Bibury brakes, which are by Brembo. You've got a make of tyre which is Seat 100 profile on the front, and then you've got a 130 on the back. The tank on the bike is 13.7 litres, and it comes with this very nice Monza polished fuel cap. Seat is very well padded. It's got a grab rail for the pillion on the back just there, which is nice. I'll put the seat height on the screen just now. The lighting on the bike, you've got standard bulbed indicators and rear tail light. And then on the front you've got a single headlight with the standard indication. Mirrors on the bike, nice chrome mirrors, chrome bars. Now the engine is very smooth. It's a parallel twin, like I say. No vibrations really through the pegs or the bars, even at motorway speeds. It's got a 6-speed gearbox, and also it has a centre stand and a side stand, which is a nice touch as standard. Sitting on the bike, ergonomics are really nice. You've got a nice wide bar just here. Switch gear, you've got obviously the standard switch gear on here, nothing fancy. You've got a flash for the headlights, you've got main beam, dip beam, indicators and a horn. On the other side you've got start and stop and the start switch just there. The throttle connection is really nice on here, with it being a cable connection. It's not like the ride-by-wire. You can feel and use more of the throttle on here, whereas on the normal standard bikes that you get today with a ride-by-wire, you're probably using about 25% of that throttle. Mirrors, like I say, good view through the back, stalked mirrors. And then on the clocks you've got nice odometer in an LCD display with fuel gauge. You've got the tachometer and obviously the mileometer just on the speedo just there. Master cylinder is by Byberry, so it's a Brembo master cylinder. I'll test the brakes out shortly when we take it for a run, see how they feel. Now, one thing I've just noticed is it's got braided stainless steel brake lines, which is nice for the money. The wheels are also spoked, and this bike, as I say, is 2 years old. It looks like aluminium wheels, which are lightweight, and then the spokes look in really good condition. No rusting or anything like that on the front and also the back. But yeah, there she is, the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to get back on the bike, we're going to go for a first ride, nice spin out, and just give you our first thoughts on this machine. So there's a few things I love about this bike, and one is the looks. Your bike has got to look nice, obviously, when it's parked, and the Interceptor is certainly pleasing on the eye. The engine is really smooth. It's got a nice tone to it, although a little quiet from those pipes. So if it was mine, I would definitely change the pipes out a little bit to get more of a thump and a noise from that parallel twin engine. Lovely to see the daffodils out. Spring is definitely here, and I believe next week we're up at about 18 degrees in places, some places in the UK. Which will be lovely. Now, I brought this up the motorway to Carnforth, just to Pine Lake there, and the motorcycle is pretty vibe free. I didn't feel too many vibes through the bars or the foot pegs or the tank or the seat, so that was really nice. Now, when I originally took this out from a dealership in Preston, or one of these, like I say, I only had it for an hour, so it'll be nice to ride this for 3 weeks and just get a good feel for the bike. I did look at buying one of these before I bought my Bonneville, and just that hour ride didn't convince me, so have I bought the wrong bike? Time will tell. But yeah, 3 weeks I think is enough time to get a good feel for it. Now, would it be a bike that you would use for weekends? Would you actually go touring or camping on it, or longer trips? First impressions are probably, for me, not. Even though it's got 6 gears and it'll purr along happily all day at 70 mile an hour on the motorway, I think for me it would be a perfect commute bike. It would be a perfect second bike to have in the garage as a classic, just to really bimble around on all of these beautiful lanes that we have in England. I don't think it would be my main bike, unless I was using it for bimbling around and commuting to work and back, which it would be perfectly suited for. But value for money for what you get is pretty damn good. 6.5 grand for a modern day classic that rides well, handles well. Okay, it's not got all the gadgets that maybe some bikes would have on, but do you really need them? You know, I'd rather bikes start going back to basics now, and not too many electronics that can go wrong. Certainly what this bike is, it's very plain and simple, does what it says on the tin. Now, I think my favourite colour scheme on this bike would have to be the chrome tank version. It just fits in with the old school classic look of this motorcycle, and that would be my preferred choice. The gearbox is really smooth, not clunky at all, which is really nice, even from neutral into first. And the clutch action is very smooth too. Brakes on the bike, so the front brake, nothing behind me. Yep, she really pulls up on the front. Let's test the rear. Yep, there's a little bit of intrusion from the ABS when pushed hard on the rear. And that's on dry roads with the tyres warm, so it's a little bit intrusive on the rear brake. But the front is really impressive, actually, with it being a single disc. So comfort-wise, ergonomics, yeah, the seat's very padded, very comfy. It's not a stretch to the bars. You sat very much upright, and also the my knees aren't too much bent. I'm 6'2". The seating position's very nice. You could happily sit in this seat all day long. So what competition have we got out there? I see a lot of reviews, you know, the Interceptor 650 versus the Bonneville T120. You can't really compare the two bikes. One is a 900cc, one is a 650. I think the closest rival to this now would be the BSA Goldstar, which is a 650 single. And for me, I haven't ridden the Goldstar. I do prefer parallel twins rather than singles, but I believe the single is very good on that. So I've yet to ride that to compare it. I suppose you could compare the W800 from Kawasaki, potentially the, maybe not, the Kawasaki Z650 RS. That's a bit on another level, is that. But I think if you want the true modern day classic look, and there's no manufacturer out there other than Triumph that have got that look from the 50s, 60s in a modern day bike today. Royal Enfield have really taken that classic look and kept those lines. And I think, like I said, for the money, £6.5 grand, it's not a lot of money to throw away on a new bike compared with the others, which are up at about the 10k mark. Yes, the BSA I think is similarly priced, but like I say, you've got a single against a twin. And also Royal Enfield have been making bikes for a long time, continuously, and reliability and everything isn't an issue. So I'm really looking forward to riding this bike, getting some miles on it, and coming back and giving you a final thought on this. Did I make a mistake by the T120, or should I have gone for the Interceptor 650? Stay tuned for that video coming up. And also, if you're not a subscriber to the channel, really appreciate if you can hit that subscribe button and give the video a like, guys. It really helps the channel, so thank you very much. And yeah, I'm going to take this through South Lakes now, have a coffee here and there. Yeah, I think next weekend we'll be out up into the Lake District on this for a cafe run, and we'll see when we can get out on the weekdays. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you soon. Ciao for now.